Hi guys, it's Tanya here, and today I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing a new tarot deck that I've bought. It's called the Wheel of the Year Tarot. I'm really excited. I actually got this before Christmas and we're now the first week of January and I haven't even looked at these cards. That has been really difficult for me, but I really wanted to do like an unboxing and to show you what the cards are as I see them. So this is the Wheel of the Year, as I said, and it's got a real kind of like pagan feel to it, and it might be good for you to watch if you are interested in buying the deck, actually, because then you get to see the imagery beforehand, because we can only really see so much on Google. It doesn't really show us that many images, so we always take a chance with cards when we buy them. But what I like is a lot of really strong imagery of people and places that are in my deck, because the way that I work is not only with the meanings of the cards, but also I use all of the imagery, the colours, the symbols, the shapes, the numbers, everything that's on there. I let my intuition really kind of paint a picture of what's going on for my client in the reading. So I've got a feeling that these are going to be like that, okay? So I'm really excited. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. And the author of these cards is Maria Coretti, and the art is by Antonella Plantano, and it says, "The seasons dance and we dance with them." That is so true. So enjoy this little video. So this is it, guys, the unveiling of the Wheel of the Tarot. Really hoping that you're not going to hear me breathing as I do this video, because I've never done one like this before when my mouth is so close to the microphone, but hey ho, we shall plod on. Right, okay, so I've taken them out of the box simply because I didn't want to fiddle around. So this is the little guidebook. It's nothing special. I mean, I've got some decks that have got the most amazing books with them, but I guess you kind of get what you pay for. I mean, this deck was about £21, so which isn't loads. I guess it's kind of average, but yeah, it all depends on what it is you're buying, how popular it is, who the artist is, where you're buying it from, etc, etc. But I'll have a look at that later. So this is the first card in there. Obviously it's not part of the deck, but it's just some info. Okay, so here we go. First card is the Fool, and I quite like that actually, because you've got him about to roll over the edge of the cliff and it looks like he's going to do it really fast. I quite like that, because he's just going to kind of take that leap, isn't he? But literally once he's gone, he's not going to be able to stop. You kind of get that feeling with it. And then we have the Magician. So that's pretty nice too. It's not my favourite in terms of the imagery on there. I mean, obviously it has to have all of the suits there, the cups, the wands, the pentacles and the swords, but it's okay. It's quite eye-catching, isn't it? And I like the way actually there's kind of like a glow there, as if like the power comes from within him. It's now his turn to kind of go for things, because he's got all of the elements there, so he's ready. So that kind of makes sense. Okay, and then we've got the beautiful High Priestess. She's very serene, isn't she? Quite like that actually, very serene there. Quite calm when I look at that. She knows her stuff. I mean, the images, that they are pretty, and I will use this deck for sure. I can see that. I'm just trying to feel into this card, and she's not the most amazing High Priestess that I've seen, I have to be honest with you. I mean, I really like the High Priestess card, because when she comes in, you know, you've got to really listen to that, because it's all about your intuition and your self-awareness, and I love that. And with this, I kind of get that, but not massively. So it's interesting and it's eye-catching, but it's not like the High Priestess that I love to see. However, the Empress, on the other hand, that is the Empress, isn't it? Now, she's shown a little bit of boobie there, as you can see. Do you know, I quite like that. I mean, the Empress is normally not very, like, clothed. She's normally a bit naked in decks, because she's there to show us growth, nurturing, feminine qualities, the wife, the mother.
what do I feel about that? I mean, does she really need to get her boobs out? I'm not really sure. I mean, I like it. I like it. She's a bit more edgy than the High Priestess, isn't she? So, yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit dark, though. I would expect some more green around this because it's growth. But then maybe what's really interesting about different tarot decks when you read for people is the mood can be different with the deck. And it's surprising how that can really suit the person that you're reading for. So it's good to choose a deck and then kind of decide who you're going to use it for. Especially if you know your client already and you want to maybe shake things up a little bit. If you already kind of know their energy, it's good to have something new. So this might be good for that, really. Okay, so the Emperor. Now, he does make me feel like, you know, determined, strong, motivated leader, someone that's going to make a decision there. You kind of get that, you know, that strength with him. There's no messing with this kind of father figure sitting there, basically saying how it is. I just get the feeling when I look at that, there's no moving with this guy, you know, what is there. I quite like that, actually. Yeah, that will do, I think, for an Emperor. Not bad. Okay. Right. The Hierophant. Do you know what? I like that. I like that because the Hierophant to me is the you know, the spiritual stroke religious stroke dogmatic, but also kind of leader on all things that are kind of outside of the box. It's about routine, your routine, their routine around you. It can be very rigid. What I like about this is that someone's kind of taken his hand and they're really kind of like obviously into this guy. And sometimes this can be the darker side of the Hierophant where, you know, that the all-powerful rules supreme, that kind of feeling. And I get that when I look at this. It makes me think of autumn as well when I look in the background, and that can be very good when you're reading for someone in terms of seasons and timelines. Okay, the Lovers. The Lovers. That's just really pretty, and they're kind of coming together. Connections there, tied together. It's all very soft and green and pink. It's not showing me any kind of lust or over passionate type of situation there, which the Lovers can mean. It's very much like, let's get married. So yeah, it's just pretty soft. It's not shocking me like some other decks that I've got, but it's okay. Don't really like that one, we'll be honest with you. This is the Chariot. That's telling me nothing. Sorry for the bluntness, but it's telling me nothing. The Chariot, you want speed, you want action, you want travel, you want inspired action. He's holding a sunflower and he's trotting along. And I don't even know, like, all right, he's going towards the sun there, but actually it's dark as well. Yeah, it's quite mellow, isn't it? It's not the Chariot that I really like. I like this one. This is Strength. And this is this guy's battle with an ox there, or a bull, should I say. And he's basically pushing against him. It's like, who's going to win? Strength isn't just about physical strength. It can be, but it's also about endurance and pushing through every day with your goals in sight. So, yeah, I think that pretty much conjures it up there. A little bit of red for the anger to push you up that hill. I like that. The Hermit. Wow, that's really depressing, isn't it, actually? Yeah, that's okay. It's depressing a little bit because he's kind of, I think, is he looking at a gravestone or is he looking at inscriptions there? Yes, it's showing the inscriptions there and learning, studying, going within yourself, introversion there, knowing yourself. I always think the Hermit looks really sad and a bit poor, but it isn't that. But that is a good portrayal there of Hermit. And the Wheel, and it's used the Wheel of the Tarot, which this is, for the Wheel, which kind of makes sense. And do you know what? I like it because look at the seasons. Actually, this maybe you've already caught on to this and I'm just showing a bit of a stupid moment here, but I was talking about autumn and then I said about the nighttime. It's the seasons, isn't it? It's pagan. the penny has just dropped. Sometimes it takes a long time for things to drop in for me. But what I like about this is we've got the wheel of the year, and that's what the wheel is. It's saying to you, you know, this time is only temporary. Things will move on. If you're stuck in a rut at the moment, good stuff will come. It will change. It's all about change, isn't it? Okay, so justice. So they've used the two seasons there, the winter and the summer, and showing the differences and how one's kind of bearing fruit, and that's heavier than like the dry leaves of the winter, which is a good kind of image there. I like that actually, because the stability in the middle, about fairness. I quite like the colour contrast with that. And everything that justice is about fairness, taking away any emotion and just doing what is right. So that's pretty cool. The Hangman. Okay, I actually really like that because I like the fact his legs are frozen. Which to me, it says that he just needs to fall. So he needs to let stuff go to allow it to fall, and then he can break free of this standstill, this limbo. So it's showing there is hope there, even though at this time it's cold and you can't move. So that's a really good image there. Death. Oh, Lady Death. We don't see many Lady Deaths. Well, how do I feel about this? So she's all around the pumpkins, isn't she? Death is a door, a transition, not physical death, but it's more of a metaphorical, that's probably not the right way to pronounce it, death. It's not my favourite death card. It's not really showing me that. It's just showing me a Grim Reaper that's a woman. That's all really. So, yeah. Okay. Temperance. I think with Temperance, they've really got to get it right with the artistry there with that, because it's a massive card and I think that it can be overlooked. But Temperance is all about alchemy and getting the balance of life right. And it comes up so much in readings because everyone struggles with that, especially in this day and age. And is she really doing that? She's just got her water there and pouring it into each cup. I know that is the actual, you know, symbol of temperance, which we use on most cards, but it's not shouting out to me that she needs to find balance for any particular reason. So this is the Devil. Do you know what? I feel like this should be the Lovers cards. And every time I look at that, I'm going to think of the Lovers. So for me, I don't feel that that shows temptation. That just shows that someone wants to go and cheat on someone. But there's more to the Devil than cheating on someone. It's about our alter ego. Yeah, so again, that's more of a fiery Lovers card to me than the Devil. The Tower, which is always an interesting one. Unexpected, drastic change. And they've used some lightning there and then the tree coming over. Which, yeah, it conjures up like things being split in half and then birds are all scared and they're flying away. So I guess it kind of does what it needs to there. So, yeah, that's okay. And the Star. Again, lady with her boobies out. Is it really showing me that there's light at the end of the tunnel, that her wish is going to come true, that she's going to get where she needs to? I guess so. I guess so, but not massively. It's a beautiful picture, and it is, you know, it has got that, you know, gorgeous kind of blue colour with the stars behind it and the water for the emotions that surround this card. So yeah, I guess, and it's kind of showing a new chapter as well, isn't it? Like just refreshment or cleansing, that kind of comes to mind when I see that. Okay, so we're on the Moon. You can probably tell by my silence that I'm really disappointed with this. This to me is not the Moon. The Moon is... It can be quite a challenging card because the Moon is full of complex. The Moon is full of danger. The Moon is full of, I don't know what's going to happen next. The Moon is full of, there's stuff that's going on and it's too complicated or worrying for me to talk about, but I'm just going to let it fester in my mind at night. That is telling me none of that. That has got to be the most disappointing card in the deck. That's a shame. But maybe when this happens and I get cards that don't really, you know, fit how I feel about that meaning, that I can get something from it. So it's basically, maybe I can look at that and say, I'm just trying to think what I can get from that, but it's more, I just think of a bridesmaid that's caught the bouquet, that perhaps some luck's in store eventually, but which means doesn't really conjure up the meaning of the moon. I'll have to think on that one, but it's not showing me that feeling of like, I get a funny feeling in my tummy when I see the moon come up in a reading, because I know that there's more that needs to be explored. This is just a girl sitting on the moon. There is no feeling or moodiness behind that. And the sun, I don't want to be a really harsh critic on these guys, because some of these cards are really beautiful, but again, I mean, that's fine. I know what the sun means. It's true kind of fulfillment, happiness, success, getting where you want to go, sitting in a lush, beautiful garden. And I can see like the stag's head and, you know, and that kind of the fruit, or the flower, should I say, all around him. I feel like I just want to see more joyous characters really enjoying like the fruits of summer. But it's a beautiful, bright card. And Judgment. So she's got the spotlight on her, and it's time for a breakthrough moment to find out exactly what's been going on, and the truth is going to come out now for sure. Do you feel like she's going to tell the truth? We can see the spotlights on her. I guess so. She looks like she's been caught unawares. I quite like that, because Judgment can do that as well. It's like, now is the time, whether you're ready or not, we're talking about this. So yeah, I think that's got a pass actually. And the World, I like this card. It is the same as the front of the tarot deck. And yeah, that to me shows cycles, completion, success, all of the seasons there. So I quite like that one. Someone that is ready. She's ready to get out there in the world and go for it. Right, okay, so we're now on to the minors. That was the major arcanas. I'm going to go through these a little bit quickly, so we're not here forever, because I can go on and on. So we're into the cups, the emotional and relationship elements of the suits there of this tarot deck. This is the ace. They're calling them chalices, which often happens in tarot decks. So this is the beginning, the love, ready for the newness that's coming in. I like that. She's sitting there hugging the candle, ready to experience wonderful things there when it comes to love. So that's pretty cute. Here is a couple coming together for the Two of Cups. And I like that too. It's soft, it's romantic, which I feel Two of Chalices should be. And they're in the throes of something new. So that pretty much does what it says on the tin. Three of Chalices. This makes me think about family, friends and your tribe. And look, it's like they're welcoming this little person in. So there's some celebration. I quite like that. So that could allude to a new baby, which may be good and useful during a tarot reading. I like this one. Four of Chalices. So she's bored. It's raining. However, she's collecting the water. So even though it's raining and she feels like there's not much she can do today, she's just got 4 free cups of water. So that's exactly what this card means, that you may feel that everything is boring, dull, and you haven't got a lot, but you must remember to be grateful, because there's always more for you to be grateful for that perhaps you haven't looked at. So I think that's pretty awesome. 5 of Chalices. This is the grief card, the broken heart card, the what would have happened if I lived another life type card, or if something else happened, regret. And she doesn't look that heartbroken, she just looks shocked, which, yeah, I guess works. But I'd probably like to see some more tears there, but it does conjure up some energy. The 6 of Cups. So this is the nostalgia card, the soulmate card, the kids that we used to know card, the growing up cards, the feelings of familiarity card. And it's an older lady looking back. But is she looking back at kids? No, she's looking back at adults, but she's looking back at what could have been. I quite like it. I like it because I think it's descriptive of the card. So if you're learning with these cards, it's a good one. So this is the Seven of Cups. This is the card where there's multiple choices of your heart's desire and you're confused and you're not sure what to decide. Can you have them all? That does not show me that in terms of the actual kind of true meaning of the cards. In fact, when I first looked at it, I thought, I don't even know what that is. I can't remember. So I don't like that, but maybe the fact that I don't like it when I'm using it may kind of help to me remember it, if that makes sense, or who knows. Right, okay. The Eight of Chalices. Now this is about moving on. So what is in front of me isn't enough and I need to pack up and go. It's about that realization moment, isn't it? And she's letting him go, or I think he's going, which is interesting because whenever I look at this, it's always the person sitting in front of me that tends to leave, not the other when we use this card. So that's an interesting take on it there. The Nine of Cups. And my wish has been granted. I'm very happy. That shows me happiness and shows me family. However, it makes me think of the 10. So it is good and it's showing that kind of place in life where you feel comfortable. I guess that's what it's showing, and kind of free with those that love you. And this is the ultimate, the 10 of Cups, happiness, stability, security, and great connection with family. I like that one. I like that one. Okay, so we've got princes here. Prince of Chalices, even though clearly that's a princess, but it doesn't really matter. Trying to see what I feel here. It is very soft and lush, isn't it? And I guess I like that because it's that innocence of love. And then we've got the lovely knight there. He's quite a nice chap. I really want the court cards to speak to me because these are the people I'll be dealing with within my tarot readings. So I want this guy to really jump out. Who is he? He's a bit soft, isn't he? He's lovely, but there's something about him that irritates me a little bit, I'm not going to lie. And here she is, the lovely Queen of Cups. She's quite dreamy. I like that. Quite dreamy, looking into the distance, thinking about stuff. Maybe she says everything's okay, but really she just wants life to be perfect. Kind of get that feeling with her. And here's the King. And he's actually a little bit harder than the normal soft King of Cups. So yeah, it's hard on face value. Obviously I've not seen these to really get a feel, but until I start working with them, then it will all kind of come to life. So that's our cups, and now we're on our wands. This is our Ace of Wands, so it's the beginning of the spark of intuition, creation, ideas, which is pretty cool. I like it. And here's the 2. This is the planning stage of everything. I like that big marrow seed there because it's really starting to take hold. So we're not quite there with our plans, well, in terms of manifesting our plans, but we are growing them. And there's something there that's a bit of a winner. So that's looking good. The 3 of Wands. Now again, this doesn't really connect for me with the traditional meaning of the cards because I want to see someone starting to travel. And it looks like she's still in the planning stages of 2, because really she should be walking over those hills right now. But instead, actually, she's stopped. She's sat down and she's put her wands down and she's got her dog as companion. So I might have to actually retract what I just said, because on more contemplation, I can see there that she's started to walk, but she hasn't quite got there yet. So apologies on face value there. Didn't actually see what she was doing. So the 4 of Wands is kind of triumph and success when it comes to teamwork. And I love the fact there's a house referenced because I always use this for house and home. And to me, that's, you know, it's good news about the home. Look what we've built, look what we've done together. We've reached our first milestone. All we have to do now is get the ladder up there to finish off the project. So that's pretty cool. I like that one. The 5 of Wands. Right, so what is going on here? Now, normally this is arguments, fights, rows, issues. and they are having a battle, aren't they? And do you know what? That's a good way to show it, actually. It's two guys having a battle, fighting it out. Who's going to win? Who knows? Yeah, pretty much obvious, but gives a lot of kind of strength to the card. So I like that. The Six of Wands. This is the I win card, or feeling like you've achieved a lot and other people giving you the recognition for what you've done. And I like that. They're giving her the little halo of flowers there, and there's lots of confetti. So that pretty much says it. She's done a good job. So with this one, he needs to protect himself, and we can see that because he's laying down the sandbags to stop the water from kind of coming in. So I kind of like that because it's showing this great force is coming, and he needs to make sure he's got everything ready to kind of stop it. And it's like, how many sandbags is he going to need to use to stop this trouble that's coming his way? So at first I didn't think straight away of the meaning of this card, but I kind of can see that on closer inspection. The Eight of Wands here, messages coming through quickly and fast energy. And I like that because we've got the bird, the eagle, which carries the message. And that, to me, I like to see flight with this card, and you know, because it also means travel. So that's perfect for me. Nine of Wands. Now, normally with the Nine of Wands, I look at somebody that's working really, really hard, lots of multiple projects on the go. They have created lots, but they're getting a bit tired and they need to watch it. I don't get that feeling with this. I can see that he's doing well, and and things are getting tough because there's lots of birds that are flocking around his field, so he needs to be careful there. So this is his like one chance to stop them, which I guess is right, because as we move on to the 10, that's when we're absolutely exhausted. And yes, that shows a couple, they're almost there, but are they going to make it with these really heavy melons on their back? Are they going to make it? See, I think they will make it, looking at that. So that can tell a really lovely story for somebody when you're reading them. So that's pretty cool as well. Okay, so the Princess of Wands, there she is. She's looking on new horizons. What can she achieve? I quite like that one as well. And then the Prince, oh, sorry, the Knight, sorry. Not sure what I think about him. He just looks a bit goofy, doesn't he? But the horse is kind of bigger and stronger, and there's something a bit more macho compared to the Knight of Cups that we saw before. Here is the Queen. I really like this card to be really creative with lots of colour, because I want her to be the one that inspires people. She is the female leader that's really kind of infectious with her energy. I'm getting that a little bit, but not massively. But I don't think these cards could kind of convey that, to be honest with you. I like this King of Wands because he feels like a really fair guy, which... and someone that you could talk to and can understand where you're coming from, but at the same time kind of get things done. So that's pretty cool. Right, let's move these over here. So we are now on the Pentacles. So here is our Ace. I found the Aces are pretty straightforward. There's nothing really kind of amazing about it. It's just an Ace of Pentacles, and that's that. And here's the Two. Now, how do I feel about that one? Like typical kind of weighing up and down. They're on a nut. I'm not blown away by it, I've got to be honest. I like that. So this is the Three of Pentacles, working hard to create something of value. I would like to see more people in this picture because I like to put teams in with this. So I like to see a group effort when it comes to Three of Pentacles. However, I like the card in general. The Four, that's pretty accurate. I like that. So this guy is basically hoarding all of his jewels and his money and his stuff, and he's in the forest and he's not going to be sharing with no one. So this is when we keep too much, whether it's parts of ourselves or stuff of monetary value, and we're not sharing. So I think that I like that. As soon as I see that, I know what the card means. I think that's what I'm trying to get at with the cards that I like. I like to see a lot of imagery, but at the same time I want to know exactly what that card is when I see it. the Five of Pentacles. So this is the one that's when you're feeling down and out, you're not being included, you feel like you have been stripped of stuff. You probably have. You've lost money. And I think that that's pretty accurate with him under the mushroom there. He's really sad. His money, he's only got a little bit of it. So I like that one. And then we've got the 6, which is like the charity cards or getting money coming in cards. And that's pretty accurate as well. I know exactly what that means. The polar opposite from this one. 7 of Pentacles. Now we've got a pregnant woman and she's not quite had her baby yet. So she's almost there. I like this because this 7 of Pentacles is the one that whenever I get to it, I'm always like, oh, I know what the card means, but I always struggle with it. It's always like one of those cards that annoys me. But this kind of conjures it up really well in the fact that she hasn't quite had her baby yet. So the job is almost done. She's almost had the baby, but she's not quite there. So I like that. And that could almost be used as well for me. When it comes to pregnancy as well in readings. I might just jump to that and see it, and it may help inspire me with that type of thing in the reading. Okay, so here we are. This is the 8 of Pentacles. I like to call this the expert card because it's when you've got really good at what you're doing and you're literally churning it out, and he is. Yep, so that's pretty perfect in terms of what he's up to there. The 9 is the abundance card. And having choice, freedom when it comes to money, because you're really kind of seeing the fruits of your labour now, which again shows me exactly that. So these are good pictures here. And then we've got the 10, which is the wealth card. I sometimes do like to see more family in this card because to me this is about family wealth and stability. And it doesn't always mean money, it means connections to family as well. So I would like to see some grandparents and maybe a couple of kids in that as well. And the Princess of Pentacles. Look at her studying away there, very studious. I like that. She's counting her money and then she's going to try and work out how she can make more. So that's a pretty good card. And here he is, the Knight of Pentacles. He's got a big coin and he's going to go and follow to find the others. It shows you that money's important to him and his goals and aspirations, which I guess is pretty accurate of the Knight of Pentacles. And there we have the Queen of Pentacles, the entrepreneur, the boss, the lady with resources. She's showing you what she's got there with her money. Very straightforward, but they are actually quite good. As we've gone on here in the cards, it seems to be getting better with each suit. Some of them were a little bit hit and miss. And here's the King. And he's got an even bigger wedge. Look at that. But yeah, pretty much there he is. Comfortable, resourceful, earthy. Okay, now, if we're going to get some strong emotions in here, it's going to be with this deck. Suit, sorry. It's going to be with the swords. And there we have the Ace of Swords, which is probably my favourite out of all the aces that we've looked at. The 2. So this has got 2 people battling away here, and I'm sure the original Rider-Waite tarot deck's got 2 people battling, or actually has it? I think it's actually got a woman with her eyes covered over. Yes, it has. So I've seen a lot of people battling, but for me, I mean, we know that swords are the mental intellect when it comes to the suits. It's the communications part, isn't it? But for me, this card is about indecision. Not necessarily a battle with someone, it's an indecision within yourself. So that doesn't really give me that feeling when I look at that, unfortunately. The 3 of Swords. Now, if you were going to do a tarot deck, I feel like the 3 of Swords needs to be the one that's going to really shout out. And that doesn't say heartbreak to me. But on the other hand, if you're reading for someone and you don't want them to be shocked at some of the imagery, that will do nicely, thank you. So swings and roundabouts. The 4, this is nice. So she's just going to go in there and hibernate for a little while because the shock of the 3 has just totally unrooted her. So I kind of get that with this. She's going to go under a hole and in a little cave until things get better. Again, this is a big card. It's about battles, arguments, once, you know, issues that you can't resolve and you just need to walk away, which is doing. So the fight is over. What did we learn from it? So that's a good one. The Six of Swords. It's time to move on. Jump in the boat and literally go for it, because otherwise those swords are going to come and get you. I like that. I like the way the swords are almost in his back and he's like, no way, I'm not taking this anymore. I'm going to jump in before I get to the Ten of Swords. So I like that one. Seven of Swords. Interesting. This guy's got his eye on this lady here with the peacock feather. That's good. So this card is normally kind of deceit, control, mystery, something's going on that you're not quite aware of. So have your wits about you, because this guy's got a prying eye. So I like that. The Eight. Oh, now that makes loads of sense to me as a mother. In fact, out of all the cards, this one has probably just struck a chord more than all of them, because she's so worried about her little girl. But actually the little girl's just got a winter bug and she's not that poorly. But the mum is just like, oh, I'm so worried about her. I hope she's going to be okay. So that's pretty accurate. And then if she doesn't sort out that worry that she's got, she ends up going a little bit nuts. We've all been there. So yeah, so she is just going crazy in her head. There's no solution to her problems. Things are getting bad, you know, and she needs to sort it out. So I think that's a good image there. They're going for it now. They're going for it. And the 10 now, wow. The 10, it's actually showing like death. And the 10 of Swords can mean literal death with other cards around it. But that's going to kind of get me confused with death, I think. It's a really dark card. That's the darkest one in the whole deck. They've gone for it there, haven't they? But 10 of Swords is one of the most heaviest cards in the whole deck. Okay, so yeah, it's okay, that one. The Princess of Swords. She definitely has a different aura and energy around her. She's very much gonna go places, isn't she? And she's looking and she's curious. That's a good card. I like that. The Knight of Swords. The Knight in shining armor. He looks a bit rough and ready. He kind of is, isn't he? I quite like the spokes on his kneecap. Oh, yes, look at this. Love it. She is cold. I almost want to say she's calculating, but honest and fair at the same time. I'm loving this. This is like emotion within the card. This is what I wanted to see in some of the other suits. And here we have him. What is he up to? There's no emotion there, is there, girls? This is all about the words, the intellect, the expert. He's not going to let the guard go down. I could do a lot with this guy in terms of reading. So do you know what? That excites me. I must admit, the last part of the cards there that excited me the most. So I'm going to work with these this month. I hope you enjoyed this. This is my first review, so apologies if it's a little bit sketchy. I hope you enjoyed it. Please post a comment if you did. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications, and I hope to do unboxing and deck reviews once a month. So thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.